Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Winning Post. I'm Mandira Lalwani, and before going any further, a quick look at what's coming up.
In this episode, we take a look at the final classic of the Bangalore season, the Group 2 Bangalore St. Leger, along with the Emirates Singapore derby from the Singapore Turf Club. Sunday 23rd July was another perfect racing day and had a great lineup of races. The final classic of the Bangalore season is the Group 2 Bangalore St. Leger for 4 years old and over to race over 2,800 meters and had a small field of 4 horses in the parade ring. Pacey Shroff saddled Mathaiyus, who ran 4th in the Maharaja's Gold Cup over 2,200 meters on the 9th of July and would be looking for a winning moment here with Neeraj Raval on his back. From Irfan Ghatala's yard was Toro Rosso, who ran 3rd in the Chief Justice Cup over 1,800 meters on the 24th of June and would have S. John in the saddle. S.S. Ataulahi schooled Captain Morgan, who was coming into this race on the back of a win, would be looking for a winning streak out here with P. Trevor holding the reins. Seradine, trained by Bharat Singh, who ran 3rd in the Maharaja's Gold Cup over 2,200 meters on the 9th of July, would have Y.S. Srinath in the saddle.
How far ahead is from Serendine. Then there is Toro Rosso and Captain Morgan. Going past the winning post for the first time in this race. And it's still Mathaiyus in the lead by about 2.5 in front of Serendine. Another 2.5 behind is Toro Rosso. 3 lengths further behind there is Captain Morgan as they go away from us past the 1,800 meter marker. Mathaiyus, the record holder on this track over 9 furlongs, still leads this field by 4 lengths in front of the Kolkata St. Leger winner Serendine, and the final entry in this race, the only filly among the 4 in second. Another 3 lengths further behind there is the Bangalore Winter Derby winner Toro Rosso and Captain Morgan, who's just won the Maharaja's Cup a fortnight ago here. Heading past the 1,200 meter marker, and it's still Mathaiyus from Serendine, Toro Rosso, Captain Morgan. The order hasn't changed much. Mathaiyus on a start to finish bid in this St. Leger still leads this field, 2.5 in front of Serendine, and in a single file there Toro Rosso is running 3rd, Captain Morgan is in 4th. 800 in balance. In the Bangalore St. Leger, it's still Mathaiyus. From Serendine, Toro Rosso making some headway from the outside, and Captain Morgan is still sitting last of 4 there. They head towards the entrance of the home stretch, and it's still Mathaiyus in the lead on a start to finish bid. So 2 lengths in front of Serendine. Toro Rosso now being pushed to improve position, and Captain Morgan inside the last 400 in the Bangalore St. Leger. Mathaiyus showing up first. 2.5 lengths in front of Toro Rosso, beginning to get up on the outside. Captain Morgan coming onto the stick. Then there is Serendine, but Mathaiyus still running well by about 3 lengths in front of Toro Rosso. Captain Morgan has to do a lot of running at this stage, and it's Mathaiyus now who's still looking good with 50 left in his race. And Mathaiyus is going to lift the Bangalore St. Leger from Toro Rosso, finishing second.
Champion trainer Pacey Shroff has had a glorious summer, having won 3 classics and a couple of graded races to make this season a highly profitable one for himself. Neeraj took Mathaiyus on a start to finish, and his task was made easier as the others allowed him an uncontested lead, while preferring to settle their horses behind a few lengths adrift of each other.
We are racing for this SM Ram Krishna Memorial Cup.
The SM Ramakrishna Rao Memorial Cup, a Class 2 race over 1400 meters, had 15 horses at the starting gates. Magical dancer trained by Samar Singh, who was coming into this race on the back of a win, would have VR Jagdish in the saddle. Silver Legend trained by Arjun Mangalorkar, who too was coming to this race on the back of a win in the RM Putanna Memorial Trophy over 1400 meters on the 15th of July, would have S. John holding the reins.
They go past the 900-meter marker and up there in front is Silver Legend calling the tunes. By about a neck up in front as they head towards the 700-meter marker from Lausanne in second. 3.5 to 4 lengths behind comes the next is Fair Game. Granada keeping company towards the ring. Horn on the outside, traveling about 4 deeper. Mystic Music comes the next. Secret Dimension has been niggled. Then another length behind is Magical Dancer. Force and Sign is in between runners as they begin to negotiate the bend. Then comes Bonfire Summerdawn as they take up for the final runner. Sagrada Shivalik Fire. They are well over into the straight. Little over 300 to travel in this race. And the Silver Legend the leader by about a length in front of Fair Game is the one which is warming up. Magical Dancer. Lausanne down the center. But inside the final 150 meters. And it's still Silver Legend. Now being collared on the outside by Magical Dancer. And Magical Dancer by about half 3/4 in front of Silver Legend Lausanne. But Magical Dancer is going to lift the SM Ram Krishna Memorial Cup from Silver Legend finishing on second. Then we have Lausanne.
Samar Singh trained Magical Dancer recording an encore in the 1400 meters. Jockey Jagadish, who tends to rely more on the whip, rode a sensible race in a race where jockeys were not allowed to carry their whip. Silver Legend held the initiative till the final moments of the race, but was done in by the late burst of Magical Dancer, who got the nod in the closing strides of the race. The feature event of Saturday 22nd July was the Karnataka Sub Area Cup, a Class 2 race over 1200 meters. Arjun Mangalorkar trained Castle Key, who is bred as a full brother to Cole's Championship Stakes winner Castle Bridge, had done well only over sprints. His last run with Denny Crane was promising, as he had clocked a timing which was good enough to win in the present company and would have apprentice jockey Anthony Raj in the saddle. Krieger, trained by Arvind Ganpati, who was coming into this race on the back of a win, would be looking for a winning spot here yet again with Pete Trevor on his back.
Further behind is Super Success, then there is Sub Majestic. After that is Castle Keys making headway in the center. On the wider outside is Dream Star. Champagne comes in next. Anthony Rivers looking for a run between the field there. And it's sidewinder with about 300 left in this race, now being turned by Krieger. Then comes Shivalik Story. Life of it's putting in a very good run. Then there's sidewinder. But it's now Krieger in the center from Castle Key. Krieger, Castle Key, Life of it. Krieger, Castle Key from Krieger. Castle Key is going to take over and win the Karnataka Sub Area Cup from Krieger. Then the Super Success. Champagne comes in next. Life of it. After that, Shivalik Story, Anthony Revo, Ace Badran. Then comes Sidewinder, Dream Star and Sub Majestic.
Castle Key had failed to make a mark in graded races but found the present opposition easy to tackle as he recorded a win after 371 days. Castle Key, who was in the rear group, was shifted out and then the jockey ducked the horse towards the rails, where the progeny of Burden of Proof covered ground rapidly and challenged the favourite and then overhauled the frontrunner with a measure of comfort. Krieger saved the runner-up berth position from fast-finishing Super Success. Up next was the Angel Dust Trophy for 3-year-olds only and had 12 horses to race over 1200 meters. Aesir, trained by G. Sandhu, who was 4th in the Speaker's Trophy over 1200 meters on the 11th of June, would be looking for a winning spot here with Y.S. Srinath in the saddle. Standout, trained by Arjun Mangalorkar, who was running her maiden race, would have S. John in the saddle.
In between runners is Malaysia keeping company towards the rail side, his own script Lamato as they come towards the 700-meter marker, running last, another 5 behind, won the last. Back to the leader, Standout just the leader by about half a length in front of Azer, the one which is moving up on the outside. Then comes Starry Wind, Canterbury keeping close attendance on the outside. Then comes Majuro, who's been niggled at this stage as he's taken for the final run. And A little over 400 to travel in this race, and the standout was the one which comes in into the home straight, close to about length and a half to 2 in front of Azer is the one which is warming up on the outside. Another 2 behind is Cantabria, and back behind them comes the next is Majura towards the Starry Wen. But inside the final 100 meters, standout is the leader, now being followed on the outside by Azer, and it's going to be Azer on the outside, goes ahead by about half, 3/4 a length in front, and is going to win the Angel Dust Trophy from standout finishing on second Cantabria, then comes Majuro.
Gregory Sandhu-trained Aesir showed good improvement over his previous effort when thwarting the challenge of first-timer Standout. Standout led from the start and was not inclined to give up easily. However, the run benefit helped Aesir to prevail in the end. The Emirates Singapore Derby of 2017 had a field of 15 runners. The contenders included Limbs Cruiser from Stephen Gray's yard, Elite Excalibur trained by Cliff Brown, Nova Strike trained by Alwyn Tan, Limbs Samurai trained by Laurie Laxon, and Infantry trained by Alwyn Tan. And of course, the field was finished with the winner of the first 2 legs of the 4-year-old series, Alibi, who was trained by Michael Clements. With prize money of 1.15 million, all the contenders were looking to stake their claim in this year's Singapore Derby. This Group 1 is run over 2,000 meters and is only for 4-year-olds and is at set weights. Let's join the action for this year's Emirates Singapore Derby.
They're ready. The Emirates Singapore Derby, and now they're racing in the Derby of 2:17, and Alibi away fairly well out towards the middle, and he's going forward for a Glen Boss. Predator away nicely, Sun Hoplites up in the first few as they settle. Infantry, Limbs Cruiser away okay, and Nova Strike for David going forward out wide as they go around the first turn, and Sun Hoplites is trying to lead the field. Now back centre field, we've got Mr. Scorsese on the inside of Limbs Samurai, who's back centre field and one off the rails as they go towards the far side. Justice Fair out wide, then Magstock near the rails. Excellency was further back, about a length and a half away. Absolute Miracle being followed by Guru. Elite Excalibur is second last in the Derby as they go towards the back straight. And Song to the Moon is back in last as Sun Hoplites leads the field in the Derby by about a length and a half. Predator up running second. Alibi settles for third on the rails. Nova Strike in a handy spot is moving up fourth on the outer. A few lengths away then to a Limbs Cruiser who follows Nova Strike. Infantry back on the fence. Justice Fair forced to cover ground. Then Limbs Samurai. Mr. Scorsese further back is centre field. A length and a half away, Excellency with 1,000 metres to go in the Derby, so half the trip behind them, half to go. Magstock further back, Absolute Miracle a long way back with also Song to the Moon, Guru, and Elite Excalibur is now back in last with about 12 lengths first to last, and Sun Hoplites 800 metres to go, works down the side, leads out from Predator getting closer. Then came Nova Strike in a perfect position. Alibi's had a quiet run. Infantry looking to work into the race now between runners from Justice Fair, and Limbs Cruiser starts to warm into it as well. From Limbs Samurai, Mr. Scorsese, Magstock Excellency, Elite Excalibur a mile back with Absolute Miracle as the field come around the home turn in the Emirates Singapore Derby of 2:17, and it's Predator who leads from Sun Hoplites. Alibi's got the run on the inside, and Infantry starting to work home well, and further back Nova Strike and Limbs Cruiser, but it's now Infantry who's raced up to Predator, then Alibi on the inside, 200 metres to go, and Manuel Nunes has taken Infantry clear. Nova Strike, Limbs Samurai, Limbs Cruiser, they're all trying hard from Elite Excalibur, but it's Infantry in front. A first Derby for Alwyn Tan, and it's Infantry who wins the Derby. Infantry first, second goes to Limbs Samurai from Nova Strike, and Alibi close up. Further back then to Predator, being followed in by Absolute Miracle, Limbs Cruiser, Elite Excalibur, Guru, Sun Hoplites, Mr. Scorsese. Further back behind those then Magstock, Song to the Moon, and also Excellency who's finished back towards the rear.
That kind of feeling can't use a word to describe, you know, and like what you say, you know, it's the bigger race I have ever won in training. So I'm very, very happy. And that Nunes knows this horse very well, you know, and where he to be let go, you know, and I think today he did a good job again.
Thanks God for unbelievable come back in 3 weeks and able to ride this horse. I'm very, very pleased. So say many thanks for the honor. Elvin kept me on the horse, and the doctor who gave me the operation, who operated me, and of course God. Otherwise, not be able to come back on time to ride this horse here. I know this horse really well. He's a kind of horse. He doesn't like to chase and doesn't like to hold him. I have to ride him wherever he's happy. So today he just break very good, and I was lovely position. I let boss cross me around the first turn, and then my horse was traveling so well. Busy was beside to me. I told him, Danny, we was in lovely position because I know I have plenty horse on my knee, and the horse was traveling very well. So in the route 600 meter, my horse, he come by himself improving. Just the home straight, he just too good for them.
What a thrilling finish by Infantry, and congratulations to jockey Manuel Nunes and trainer Alvin Tan. Tan secured his first Derby victory with Infantry. Congratulations must also be extended to the Falcon Racing Stable, who's made up of Thai-based owners who scored their biggest win in Singapore to date. Infantry, the son of Tavistock, has now won 8 races from 20 career starts, including 6 seconds and 2/3 for earnings over $1.4 million.
Mr. Bunn will now present the trophies for the Emirates Singapore Derby. The Emirates Singapore Derby, of course, was won by Infantry and is owned by Kajon Pet Racing number 2. And I would now like to invite on stage General Nopadon to pick up the Derby trophy, as well as a return business class ticket to Dubai, courtesy of our sponsor Emirates. Accepting the trophy there for Kajon Pet Racing number 2. And the photographs being taken. May I now invite on stage winning trainer Alwyn Tan for his first Derby success here this afternoon. A Crystal A380 model plane for Emirates, as well as a return business class ticket to Dubai, courtesy of Emirates. Alwyn Tan to come forward once these photographs have been taken by the various media agencies. Alwyn Tan now coming forward. A great training effort by Alwyn, picking up his first Derby here this afternoon. And the photographs to be taken. There's the plane being handed over, and in the big envelope from Emirates, the return business class ticket to Dubai. And the winning jockey to come forward here this afternoon, it's Manuel Nunes to receive his Crystal A380 model plane from Emirates, as well as a return business class ticket to Dubai, courtesy of Emirates. Great to see Manuel back in the winner's circle here this afternoon. Photos to be taken. And Manuel delighted with his success here this afternoon. It is also now my pleasure to invite Mr. Lim Ju Boon, Chairman of the Singapore Turf Club, to present a token of appreciation to Mr. Andrew Bunn for Emirates' sponsorship of the 2017 Emirates Singapore Derby. Terrific sponsors over many years have Emirates been towards the Singapore Turf Club, and I'd now like to invite everyone for a group photograph on the dais following the running of the Emirates Singapore Derby of 2017, taken out by Infantry for Kajon Pet Racing number 2, Alwyn Tan and Manuel Nunes.
And that's all we have time for in this episode of The Winning Post. If you've missed anything, you can always catch it on our YouTube channel. Do remember to follow Mohit Lalwani on Twitter for his tips. And of course, goodbye. Until we see you next time, may the horse be with you.